Hi my friends, I hope you're all well and that you had a kick-ass weekend and you're feeling good and ready for the week ahead. So, like Nick said, this week on Instagram we are speaking about fight or flight. Now, why are we speaking about fight or flight? So, the majority of human beings are in a state of fight or flight much more than they should be, and much more than they want to be. And the thing is that the majority of people don't realize that they're in a state of fight or flight, right? You might know about fight or flight, you might know what it is, but you might not realize that you are actually in that state most of the time. Now, when you are in a state of fight or flight, for the majority of the time, this affects you on every single level. It affects you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Let's speak about the physical. So when you are in a prolonged state of fight or flight, first of all, fight or flight isn't bad, right? Fight or flight is very, very effective and impactful, right? So if you're in a dangerous situation, your body's going to go into fight or flight. So your heart's going to start beating faster, you're going to be producing more adrenaline, more cortisol, your eyes are going to dilate. All of these things are going to happen so that your body can get ready to fight or to run, right? So it's a good thing. It's a fantastic thing. I mean, amazing that our biology even thought about, kind of like, oh, we need something for danger, and it's, I'm sure you can think about a time in your life when fight or flight kicked in and it saved your ass, I definitely can. So fight or flight is fantastic. What's dangerous about fight or flight, I'm going to take this off because I'm boiling. What's dangerous about fight or flight is when you end up in a prolonged state of fight or flight. So when you're just stressed way too much. So on a physical level, what's happening? So on a physical level, you are producing adrenaline and cortisol much more than you need to be, which means that your body is having a difficult time getting enough rest, deep rest, restorative rest. So it's not managing to recover well. You could end up feeling tired all the time, tight-chested all the time, getting things like headaches, tummy aches. Digestion is massively impacted by being in fight or flight. So if you suffer with IBS, that's a fight or flight condition. If you have fibromyalgia, that's a fight or flight condition, chronic pain, stuff like that. So, if you have any of these things, it's really important that you learn about fight or flight, you understand it so that you can notice when you're in it and step out of it. So on a physical level, it makes it very difficult for you to recover and to feel your best. On an emotional level, you'll notice that you're much more reactive when you're in fight or flight. You're less responsive and choiceful, and you're much more reactive. So things are going to piss you off more. You're going to get into more arguments because you're going to be more likely to just, whatever. Basically, what's happening when you're in fight or flight is that you're functioning much more unconsciously. So you're functioning from your childhood patterns, behaviors that you learned in childhood. So you're not being super conscious. And this could be doing damage to your relationships in the present day, your relationships, your work life, your creativity, whatever, right? Because when you function unconsciously, you are doing things, you are responding to current situations from a past way of coping. If this doesn't make sense, just DM me. Anything that doesn't make sense, okay? Just DM me and clarify with me. I love answering your questions and making sure things are super clear because I want this information to help you, to support you. On a spiritual level, what happens, right? So when we're in a state of fight or flight too often, on a spiritual level, it just fucks us up basically, because when we go into fight or flight, we go into survival. So when we're in survival, the most thing we can think about is ourselves and maybe those closest to us, like our children, but we can't go beyond. We can't think about friends too much. We can't think about society. We definitely don't have the capacity to do anything for future generations, and make big changes. So spiritually, it blocks you when you're in fight or flight, and it blocks you, when you're in a spiritual state, when you're in a state of receptivity, you're in a state of abundance. And that's when all of the good things happen in life. When you're in a state of abundance and you can receive, that's when financial wealth occurs. That's when pregnancy occurs. That's when love enters our lives and doesn't just enter but stays. When we can stay in that state of abundance, when we can stay in that state of rest and digest and looking at the good in life, and not just looking at it but feeling it, appreciating it, letting it fill us up. It's a totally different state than a fight or flight state. Fight or flight is lack. It's I don't have enough. We are in danger. We do not have enough. Fuck. I need to work more. It's that kind of state. So I think you're getting why it's important to notice when you're in fight or flight and to be able to step out of it, right? And into a state of abundance and receptivity. So how do you do this? Step number 1, tune in with yourself. So several times a day, I want you to just take a short pause. Don't think you have to stop and meditate for half an hour. Just take a short, moment to just go, how am I? Just ask yourself, and don't answer it from a cognitive state, like, oh, I'm fine, whatever. Like, no, not from a thinking state. I want you to feel how you are. So it's like when you have a child, right? When you have a little baby who can't communicate to you, you can't expect them to talk to you and say, I need this, I need that. You have to slow down and tune in and feel this baby. Feel the cry, pay attention to it, feel the way they move their body. You have to feel it. And then when you feel it, then you can go, I think it's this. All right. Sorry, I fucked up. I feel it's this. I feel the baby needs a cuddle. I feel the baby needs to stand up. I feel. So do the same with yourself. Tune in with yourself. Do it at least 3 times a day. Do it every hour and a half if you can, and just ask yourself, how am I in this moment? Just in this moment. You don't have to go into how have I been over the past month and blah, 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 blah. No, how am I in this moment? And if this doesn't come naturally to you, if you're not used to doing this, put reminders in your phone, right? 3 times a day. You're just going to tune in with yourself and just go, how am I? Okay. Second step is to understand your need, right? So we are human beings and we have needs all the time. This is why our babies cry, right? Because they have needs. They need their nappy change. They need food. They need whatever. We are the same. We are just adult versions. We have needs. We have hunger. We need love. We need sex. We need safety. We need variety. We need significance. We need to feel like we matter. We need contribution. We need to know that we give back, and we need growth. So understand your need. So what do you do? So you tune in. You ask yourself, how am I right now? When you feel your answer, your body's going to tell you what you need. Right? So if you're feeling tight-chested, then you need to breathe deep. You need to expand your chest, right? And maybe you're having difficulty breathing deep. So then you can ask yourself, okay, what do I need? Maybe I need to move my body, right? I need to move. I need to unlock. I need to, maybe you need to dance, or you need to exercise, or whatever. You might get in touch with something as simple as, I need to go to the bathroom. Right? How many of us have worked and not noticed we needed to go to the bathroom and held, right? Just that alone is going to put you into more of a state of fight or flight. So go to the bathroom. You might notice that you need to eat something. You might notice you're angry, but you don't know why, right? So then you can schedule time to process that anger, right? To write about it or to talk about it or whatever. You might notice that you're freaking tired, right? And you need rest, or that you're so tired and it's been going on for so long that you need more than just momentary rest. You need support with it, right? So you're going to seek professional support. So once you have understood your need, you can take action to meet it. This is the 3rd step. You take action to meet that need. So you give yourself what you need. When you do this, right? So when Archie cries and I notice he's hungry and I give him milk, basically what happens is he's crying because his body's out of equilibrium, right? He's gone off balance because he's hungry. I give him the milk, it rebalances him. Okay, we do the same with ourselves. We are off balance. I feel angry, I feel anxious, whatever. I ask myself, what do I need? What do I need? I need safety. I need to say, fuck off. I need to whatever. And I give myself what I need, and my body rebalances. Don't expect yourself to be in a constant state of balance. It is not possible. Okay, we go off balance, we rebalance. We go off balance, we rebalance. No biggie. If you're a new parent, okay, as in if you have a newborn, you are most definitely in a state of fight or flight because you're not sleeping. And when you don't sleep, your body naturally goes into a state of fight or flight. So you need it even more. If you have things like chronic pain, if you have fibromyalgia, if you have IBS, if you are unwell, cancer, anything, then you need to be tuning in with your body even more. If you are in debt and you have financial pressure, blah, 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 you need to be tuning in with yourself. You need to be asking yourself how you are, taking time to meet your needs so you can rebalance. Once you rebalance, you are able to go back to that state of abundance and rest. Now, what happens when you're in a state of abundance and rest? Does it mean that you just let everything go? No. But it means that you approach things from a much calmer, more present state. You approach financial decisions from a clear mind, which means that you make much better financial decisions. Financial decisions that are going to impact you well for the long term, right? When you're in a state of rest and digest, right, state of abundance, you have more space for your relationships. You have more space for other people's emotional states. You are more compassionate. You are able to understand your feelings. So you're less reactive and you're much more, okay, I can see what's happening. I'm angry because this person said this. Let me communicate it in a way that this person can hear it. Okay, then I can hear the person back. I can be compassionate, blah, blah, blah. Things go much smoother. Do things go perfectly? No, not always, so no problem. But the point is, when you are in a state of abundance, when you work to make a state of abundance your default state, right? The majority of people, their default state, they wake up in the morning, they're pissed off, right? That's a state of fight or flight. Their default state is fight or flight. You want to work to make your default state a state of grace, a state of abundance, a state of clarity. Call it whatever works for you, right? And when you are in that state, you are going to bring the best of your energy to the world. You are going to give your best through your work, through your love, through your relationship, through your body, through everything, okay? So those are my 3 tips. If you find that you are in a state of fight or flight more often than you would like, and you would like to train yourself, because remember, this is training. You are not going to go from being consistently in a state of fight or flight to consistently in a state of abundance by practicing once. It's consistency, right? You need to rewire the patterns in your brain, okay? So it's like playing the piano. You can't play once and expect yourself to become Mozart, you need to practice consistently. This is why we have lifestyle strategy sessions, right? Lifestyle strategy sessions, it's not just therapy and it's not just coaching, it's a combination of the two. And the reason for this is because we do mindset training. So we call it mindset training, but the truth is it's being training, because it affects everything. It affects you on a physiological level, it affects you on a mindset level. So you are going to train yourself to step out of fight or flight and into a state of abundance consistently, so that you can be your best self, you can bring your best self on a daily basis. And this becomes your default state. How fucking beautiful is that?